Well, good evening, everybody. Alan Slaughterzinski with the Brevard Sports Network. And I'm really excited here tonight because let me tell you something. We got an event coming up this Saturday for our young males of this community that is a can't miss event. On your screen right now, you're looking at it. The 321 Empowerment Series, the inaugural 321 Empowerment Career Planning. It's in partnership with the Eastern Florida State MMI Club. It's for males 9th through 12th grade. It's taking place at the Eastern Florida State Melbourne campus, Building 4 Auditorium. Your guest speaker, none other than national champion coach Ed Ogeron. And listen, regardless of what Ed Ogeron tells you, to just show up and listen to Ed talk, period, is worth the day itself. And I've got two great mentors, two guys that are huge parts of this community, that are a part of the 321 Empowerment Inc. series, part of the board. And they do and have done some very great things for this community. Please help me welcome from King Durance, a young man that has, I still call him a young man because I'm older than both these guys, but a man that has just done a tremendous amount for this community, Kenny Johnson, and Cocoa City Councilman, and of course, from ABC Land Clearing, Alex Goins. Let me get these two guys on here, and Alex, obviously we don't have Kenny's face on there, but Kenny, you can chime in at any time you'd like there. Alex, tell us a little bit about why this series and what you're doing Saturday is so important.
Yeah, man. We all know that the community really needs help as far as the young men in our community definitely dealing with adversity. Also, creating a plan B after sports, life after sports. Everyone doesn't go to college. Everyone is not going to make the Division I rosters. And so we're creating an opportunity to show them, hey, look, once you're done playing, it's okay, right? It's okay to be done. But here goes the next step after you finish that sport, after you may not get recruited by the school that you would like to get recruited by. Hey, look, don't worry about that. Now it's time to, if you have a family, take care of your family and also build a career for yourself. So the goal is for us to create that opportunity, create that networking, and all just meet new people that can help you out for your career, for your longevity.
All right, Kenny, let me ask you the same question. What would you tell the community as to why this event is so important?
Well, when everyone takes a step back to look at the society right now and to see where we are as a community, this is much needed. The children are our future, and the future is not promising right now. We are having multiple suicides all throughout the country.
Yeah.
Childhood obesity is at an all-time high. Emotional control is at an all-time low. And it starts with the men. So we must make sure we equip these men with everything it takes for them to be successful in these days and in this age. So I'm encouraged by what we're doing as a community in Brevard County. I want this to catch on fire throughout the whole nation, because we as coaches, we as parents must do a better job. We cannot complain about what we allow. And right now we're allowing society, technology, video games, processed foods, all of these things to raise our children, when it should be us doing that.
You know, Alex, I'm looking on here, and of course, Ed Ogeron speaking is a tremendous thing. Great football guy, great motivator. I've actually had the opportunity I actually asked Ed a question once and got about a 4.5-minute response. That's just Ed Ogeron. What can these students, I should say, expect to do? It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. What can we expect them to learn, to take from this?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is networking, right? I think a lot of these young people don't realize who they have around them. They walk by millionaires every day and don't even really realize who these adults are, right? And so what we're trying to do is bridge the gap between the career fields and these young people, so that now when you go fill out an application, Hey, look, hey, I remember you. I was at the 321 event, and you was my mentor for that day of that series, and now you have the leg up on other applicants just based on networking with other individuals. So it's networking. It's also working on what's your plan? What's your plan B? Because a lot of times young people after they graduate, they don't know what to do. That 3 months before you graduate, like today, a lot of graduates of 2025 are so unsure about what they're going to do next. And so this is the perfect timing for that conversation. What is next for your life? And so at 321 Empowerment, we're trying to give you that tool if you receive it, and it will help you out for the rest of your life moving forward. So that's the goal.
There you see once again on your screen coming up this Saturday. You look at gentlemen, and any one of you can take this question here. You look at the world today. I don't care what side of the political aisle you fall on. I don't care, what your beliefs are. The bottom line is that things are tough all around. And listen, they've been that way for quite some time. I can't remember a time in my adulthood where, things weren't tough. I mean, it's a part of life, and as we get older, they just feel like they get tougher. What do you think? How do you think the trajectory of the things that have changed in terms of the landscape of, say, local politics, national politics, all of it? How has it changed, and how do you believe? Because I don't think people think about this. How do you believe it affects our youth?
I don't. I honestly don't believe it's changed.
Uh
I
huh.
believe things have been going downward for a long time,
I
but
agree.
it's more blatant. It is a lot more blatant, and you can see it through the children. You can see it through the lack of emotional control. You can see it through the cognitive dissonance of adults. You can see it through
Home
just
training.
everywhere in sports. Yep, in training. When I train athletes now, it's hard for some of them to do a plank for 20, 30 seconds. So when you incorporate the processed foods and sugars and GMOs that they're feeding to our children, on top of all the technology and screen time that they're receiving, and then what they're putting out there for these kids to receive is not what they need. So
That's a
we
great
as
answer.
adults, yeah, we as men must step up, and this is the start to it. So I'm encouraged by Coach Herring and our team for putting this together. We have Scott Alpazar. We have some heavy hitters that came out to support this because they saw the need, and we as men, the Bible says iron sharpens iron. We also must sharpen up our children as well and bring them up the way they should go. So I'm encouraged by this program. I'm excited to be there with Councilman Goins. Both of us, prime example, both of us probably had dreams of playing in the NFL. We played college football, but here we are in the politics.
Yeah.
Um, and that's by the grace of God. So I'm encouraged to just share with other children and other athletes that there are other opportunities for them, others outside of sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was a great question to present to both of you since, both with your political backgrounds. And Alex, of course, I've spoken to you many a times. We've had great conversations, you and I have. And I know you're heavy in the home training area and what students or, what kids learn at home. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, with the way social media is going now, right? A lot of people think that the generation is lost, right? It's not the generation; it's who's teaching them, and then also who's not teaching them. And so it's not the fact that these kids are just horrible young individuals. No, it's not that. They don't have the consistency, for the most part, at home. And it's because of economics as well. You might have a single mom at home working two jobs. She might not see her son until 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And the single dad sometimes has that same issue, right? Now you
Yep.
got grandma trying to do her thing. Grandma is 72, trying to raise a 16-year-old young man, and she's out of touch with social media world. And so, we have to do better as a community coming together. That's why it really truly takes a village, right? It
Yep.
takes a village of people coming together for the greater good. It's not about what high school, we all get caught up in the high school thing and all of that stuff. Man, at the end of the day, it's all about trying to save these young people from the streets.
Yep.
That's all it's about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, and that's a big reason why we do what we do here on Brevard Sports Network. It's just another opportunity to help these kids put themselves out there to find themselves a brighter future. Kenny Johnson from King Durrance and Cocoa City Councilman Seat 1, and from ABC Land Clearing, Alex Goins with us. And again, the information, and I just keep putting it on the screen, and again, this Saturday, registration's now open. Of course, it's been open. If you want to register today, www.321empowerment.org. That information has been at the bottom of the screen for the entire interview here. Gentlemen, Kenny, can you tell us whom is going to be there this week?
Starting off, we have Dr. Michael Cadora, who also is a city councilman for the city of Rockledge. So we have 3 council members, former athletes, former college athletes. Dr. Michael Cadora played in the NFL. We also have Scott Alpazar, attorney at law for Alpazar at Law, located in Palm Bay, Florida. Former collegiate athlete, played for Harvard football. Who else? Of course, Notre Dame, Coach Ray Herring, the one who put it all together, the man with the mind and the mission, who called all of us on the same track to equip our future, equip our youth with what they need. And this Saturday, we're going to bring it. We have school board member John Thomas, coached at FIT, Holy Trinity, you name it, whatever job.
No job well.
Yep. So he's been a beacon in the community for decades. Who else am I missing, Alex? We got so many.
You have Coach Hurley Brown, Holy Trinity head coach, also former Miami Hurricane. You got Mr. Michael Pittman. He's a teacher at Titusville High School. You have Mike Williams, and also his son. And so, I mean, so many different people
Voices
on our board from different levels, right? From the construction world, from the lawyer world. You have some therapists. You have a financial analyst. You have all walks of life, and that's really what we are. That's what our community is, a melting pot, right?
Yeah,
and we all come together. You know what I mean?
Yep. We gentlemen, we got another local legend that's hopped on here that we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna kind of pose some of the same questions to him. Neefy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, let me bring you on. We got Neefy Moffett on. First of all, how fun of a ride was it for you to go watch your daughter win a state championship this year?
Oh man, it was amazing, man. And just to see the work that they put in and to just get that championship and enjoy it. All I could be is a proud father, man. I was so excited for it.
I tell you what, the genes run deep in terms of great athletes, Neefy. So this event, tell us why you believe an event like Saturday is important to these young men in the 9th through 12th grade.
I think just looking back at it when I was in the 9th and the 12th grade, there weren't these type of things available here. So to be able to come back and give to the youth in a way that's not sport is what's really been missing. Sports last so long, but the information that we're giving this weekend, it lasts forever, and it can change your life.
What do you think? Look, I mean, you've been there, you've done it. FSU, I mean, all of it, right? What type of advice would you like for these young men to take away when they walk out of there Saturday? What are some things you want these to stick out in these young men's minds?
That life is way more than sports. And sport is just it's really a hobby, but it can impact so many people's lives. But it's way more than sports, and there are many avenues where you can gain whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. And you don't have to have sports to do it. You can use your mind.
I might keep this stream running. You never know who else is going to hop on here, guys. I mean, we might get all kinds of great local legends popping in here with Alex Goins, here with Kenny Johnson and Neefy Moffett. Alex, let me come back to you. You've been coaching. You've been at this a long time. What's the message you want these students to receive by the time they are done on Saturday at noon?
Yeah, I mean, kind of piggyback on what Neefy said. I think you use the sport as the hook, right? But at the end of the day, it's really all about camaraderie, commitment, discipline, and all those things that really help shape my life through sports, right? So I wasn't that bright, right? And so sports helped me go to college, right? And so you use that sport to get education, right? I didn't apply myself properly in high school, and so that's where I'm going to be. I'm the real talk guy. That's just me, where I tell my story, and a lot of these athletes can relate to the things that I know that I've been through, and so that's what they're going to receive too, is that real talk, that real conversation about life, right? Because they may not have someone at home that they're comfortable enough to tell, what they may be going through. Right. And so, or maybe don't have anyone at home that completely truly understands what an athlete and or a young man going through the life of dating or going through different trials and tribulations. So just learn that there is a next level, right? There is a next step. I think that's the biggest thing. What is your plan? What's your plan for your next step in life? That's it.
Yeah, Kenny, I think one of the biggest things we find, and I think we all think in our own way, that we grew up really, really fast in life, right? I mean, all of us say, yeah, I grew up fast. I had a mom. I grew up in a single household, and I always felt like I grew up. But these kids today, man, with the way that social media has a grip on them, with the pressures of school and sports, it's a different world today. It really, truly is. I feel for a lot of these kids in a lot of ways. I hear a lot of adults will say, man, these kids got it so much easier than we do. Well, that might be true from a technology standpoint, but the pressures are so much greater. How do we gain the trust of young men from grades 9 through 12? Because I don't care who they are. It seems to me I deal with all walks of life throughout a lot of different communities, and the one common thing is gaining the trust to be able to talk to a lot of these kids. How do we do that?
We have to meet them where they are. So you have to get to their level and speak in a language or demonstrate in a way that they can comprehend. And then from there, you can build, a foundation. But you have to start from where they are and build up from there. That's how we train our children. That's how we train our household. And It works. You meet the children where they are and build them up from there. And I just had this conversation this morning. It's hilarious, about the exact same thing you just said, sir, with adults and telling children they have it so much easier.
Yeah.
But at the same token, if the technology and the video recording that they have now was out 60, 70 years ago, a lot of people will be in trouble. A lot of the same people who are judging or quick to throw stones will be the same ones in trouble or worse trouble than these kids now. So I think we need to take this as an opportunity to just educate and uplift and empower, which is what we're starting to do right now. So I'm excited.
All I'm going to say is I'm glad as a 15, 16, 17-year-old, I did not have social media. I did not have internet. If there's one thing I can thank God for, trust me when I tell you, it's that. Neefy, Neefy, I'm going to give you one of the final words here. From the trust factor, Kenny's right. I mean, you have to. It's a process. It certainly is a process. What would you, and I've already asked Kenny and Alex this. What do you want these kids to take away from this event?
I want them to take away that they're cared about, and there's a system and a structure, and there are people who raised to whatever, however, how you want to go in this sport. And at the end of the day, we're still husbands, we're fathers, we're productive people in our community. So be a productive person in your community and let your hobbies use your hobbies to be more productive. And each one teach one. We reach out and we just help the next person.
I like it. Alex, final word to you. You've trained the Juwan Taylors and the Chauncey Gardners of the world on the gridiron, but not everybody's Chauncey Gardner Johnson and Juwan Taylor. They're just not. While every student athlete wants to be a professional student athlete, Alex, sometimes you have, and I know you've had these conversations of telling these kids, man, that's not the level you're going to go, So this Saturday makes something like this so much more important. Final word to you, and I asked you this at the beginning, so I'm going to ask you it again at the end. When these kids walk out of there Saturday, what are they going to take with them?
Yeah, and so that question is a very difficult conversation to have, especially for young people who feel that they are D1 worthy, right? Because I had to have that conversation with my own son, right? And that was a very difficult conversation having with your own child.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out. He seen the love. He understood where I was coming from. But they got to understand, everyone is not going to go to D1. Everyone is not going to University of Florida. Everybody is not going to play for Florida State. You don't. But there's levels, right? You could maybe go D2 or D3 or whatever the else case may be. But when you're done playing this game called football or basketball or track or whatever you choose to do, there is another phase of your life. And you must be prepared for that phase. You cannot be second guessing. You have to move. Mama is saying, get out the house, okay? Yeah. Mama don't want you in the house till you 35 years old, right? And so now mama love you, but mama wants you to have a plan. And so we are here as a group of men that have made bad decisions. We've made some awesome decisions, and we want to show you how to navigate through all of those decisions. And so good or bad. And so I wanted them to understand it's okay. You may have made a bump in the road, or you may have a bump in the road here and there. It is okay. Look at us. Neefy, Kenny Johnson, Alex Goins. We all have made missteps, but we all today are taking care of our families. We're loving on our family. We are productive in the community. And this too could be you. And so, and I'm big on this. Be better than me.
Yeah.
Be better than me. I'm gonna show you better than me. And so that's what that's my take on that, man. I just want the young people to come out and take advantage of us. We don't want anything from you guys. We don't want anything from you. You know what we want? Show up.
Yep.
You show up, we're gonna give it to you.
I'm gonna put it a lot of times, as we all have, and I'm gonna say this directly to you, the parents and the student athletes. You've got a dozen or so spectacular great men in this community who have donated their time. There's three of them on this interview right here who have donated their time to do something like this. This 321 career planning and partnership with Eastern Florida State MMI Club. You know what? I'm telling you, these guys are very busy guys. All of them are extremely busy guys. And the fact that still giving back, taking the time to mentor their community is a big thing. And I think the least that we can do if we have a male from the 9th to the 12th grade is get him down to Eastern Florida State on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be held in Building 4. The information is there on the screen. Gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for volunteering even more of your time here tonight, to be able to talk to us about this great event on Saturday. So for Kenny Johnson, for Councilman Alex Goins, for Neefy Moffett, I'm Alan Slaughterzinski for the Brevard Sports Network. We'll see you Saturday.